Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video is a little bit different. Instead of the bookshelves behind me, we have the couch, and instead of daylight, we're shooting at about 10 p.m. at night. I had my last long run of training season, so I did 12 miles this morning. And then Matt and I had a How to Train Your Dragon marathon. So that took up most of the day, and it was fun. I definitely cried at the third How to Train Your Dragon. I hadn't seen it before today, and wow, um, it was really good. Would recommend, especially if you're a fan and you've seen one or the first and the second one. It was lovely. But we're also in this new position because we're doing a different video. We are going to try and do our first ever channel tier ranking video. And we're going to tier rank all of the books that I read in 2024. So let's get to it, and we'll see you on the tier ranking flip side. All right, everybody, let's get started. If you've noticed, we have Hades sitting behind us, and he just jumps off. But I think that's his first time being completely on screen, so it's his debut. Okay, getting started. The first book that is on our list from last year is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I feel like I'm gonna put this one in B. It was very middle of the road. I would definitely read it again. It was a solid romance, and it could move up earlier or later. It could move up later. But we're gonna start it off with B, middle of the road. Ooh, the next one, Expecting Detectives, S tier. This was my favorite book last year. Cannot recommend it enough. Hilarious. It is about a group of soon-to-be mums. It's set in England, and they're going to solve a murder together because they're on maternity leave. So many laugh out loud moments. Absolutely hilarious. I will always recommend this book. Next, we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is a very popular TikTok author, especially in the hockey romance world, and I'm here for it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love a good hockey romance, and Hannah Grace delivers. We're gonna leave it an A tier for now because, I don't know, this is the first tier list I've ever made, and we're gonna play it safe with A tier. At the end of the video, we'll maybe do a little reshuffle if needed. But for now, we're going to say A tier because I really enjoyed it. Next, we have The Mirror of Beasts. This is by one of my all-time favorite authors, Alexandra Bracken. She is one of my auto-buy authors. Whatever she puts out, I'm going to buy. I still have to work my way through her backlog of books. I have her series, The Darkest Minds, on my TBR for this year. So hopefully that will get done soon. And I loved Mirror of the Beast. It's a YA duology, and this is the second book in the duology. And it's just lovely. It's completely fantasy. There's a little bit of romance, but it's not. Romance isn't what this book is about. It is about fantasy and found family. S tier. We'll probably read this again at some point. And if I could read it again for the first time, I would. S tier for me is going to be the books that I kind of wish I could read again for the first time and just experience that joy of not knowing what's going to happen next and guessing. to see if I can figure out what's going to happen next before it's actually written on the page. These are already two books that I really love. These four, I can count. These four, they're so good. They're so good. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I read this book, and this started kind of what would be a trend for me of finding books later in series that are also kind of standalone-ish that I then went back and bought the rest of what the series has in front of it. I really liked this book. This one I bought, and the cover and like how it was being described really made me think it was going to be a cute, cozy summer romance. And it was definitely all of those things, but there was just a deeper level. Abby, at least in my experiences of the three books I've read from her, is not just like a light-hearted romance writer. She drives home some messages, and they hit hard. And I cried so much with this book. We're gonna leave it at A for right now. But yeah, that was a good book. Next, we have Secretly Yours. This is 100% cheesy romance novel, and sometimes you just need that. B. It's a good book. It is an average good book, and it kind of completes this nice little even spiel of what we have right now. So B tier. Very cute, very easy. The Game Changer. I only vaguely remember this book, but it's a hockey romance. So it kind of, the cats are tearing through the house. This is kitty playtime hour, like 10:30 at night, and the cats are playing. So if there are more cat zoomies in this video, I'm not sorry. B tier, as I was saying, at least for hockey romances, that's as low as it's going to get because I always enjoy them. They're so good. And you can't convince me otherwise. Next, we have one of my absolute queens, Allie Hazelwood, Not in Love. And I did love this book. A tier. Allie writes really amazing books, and she's also just a really amazing human. I've gotten the chance to meet her before, and she's a lovely soul. Not in Love is one of her contemporary romances. It's really good. It's not my favorite Allie Hazelwood novel, but it's still really good. Then we have Spare, if you like the royals. This is like a behind the scenes, peering behind the veil. And I do like some British royals. I like keeping up on the goss as much as I can without invading privacy, because I do think they have a right to privacy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. But that is my thoughts. And this was an interesting biography about Prince Harry and his life up to this point. I listened to the audio, and he was the narrator, which was also kind of cool. See, it was nice. It was good. But like, I don't plan on listening to it again anytime soon. I'm not going to say never, because I'm not going to say never. See, Something in the Air, but air as in next in line for property, money, whatever it may be. I got this book because it was on sale, and it had a tagline from Julia Quinn. And as we know, I love Miss Quinn, Mrs. Quinn. I love Julia Quinn. She's great. It just didn't do it for me. I really struggled with reading this book. I really struggled to get it done. And I'm never going to read it again. Never again. It'll stay on my bookshelf in case other people want it, or it eventually might make its way to a book swap, but I'm not going to read it again. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. All right, so our next one is Allie Hazelwood. It's our second Allie Hazelwood for 2024. She gave us 2 new books last year. This is her first fantasy, I believe. I'm looking at my bookshelf. Yes, this is her first fantasy. I loved it. We're getting a sequel in October, and I'm so excited. I'm planning to reread Bride right before the sequel drops. Let me know in the comments if you want to do like a live reading with me of Bride and the sequel mate, because I kind of think that would be fun. And I was wrong. She gave us 3. No, she didn't give us 3 books last year, but I read 3 Allie Hazelwood books. She published Check and Mate a while ago, and it was her first YA book, and it took me a while to get to it. And this is a book I listened to. It was lovely. It was really good. I could see myself listening to it again, but these other 6 are better. Okay. Under the Mistletoe is next, and this is actually a collection of novellas from multiple different authors. If I remember correctly, there were 5 different novellas from 5 different authors, and Allie Hazelwood was one. I think Tessa Bailey was another one. In December, I like to read Christmas romances. And honestly, not even Christmas romances, holiday romances. In the past, it has been Christmas, but we have a couple on this list that aren't Christmas. I think overall, I like averaged out to a little over 3 stars. I love the Allie Hazelwood. There was one novella that I was just not into at all. So we're going to put it at, no, we're not even going to leave it at B. We're going to drop it to C. I don't foresee myself really listening to any of them again because I did them on audiobook. Maybe the Allie Hazelwood one, but maybe not. There's always going to be another one. All right, next is The Fury. Friends, I tried to join a book club at the beginning of last year, and that is how I truly found out that I was a mood reader, because I did not want to read this book. I wasn't interested in it, but it's what the book club decided. So I thought to myself, I can just listen to it and I'll get it done. I pushed this off for so long that I had to finish it the day of the book club, and I think I got up to ×2 speed to try and finish it. If you don't know where this is going, right to D. I don't even know why I finished it. I don't even recommend it to people. I hated it. If you love The Fury, I'm sorry that I hate the book that you love, but that's what makes people different, and maybe we can talk about it someday. If you liked The Fury, please also put in the comments why you liked it, and maybe we can have a discussion. I was going to say maybe you can change my mind, but you can't, because if I remember correctly, my biggest problem was I found the main character annoying. And if I have an annoying main character, I don't tend to like the book. Okay, next. You May Now Kill the Bride. I picked this one up out of the blue. I was grocery shopping and saw it in the small little book stand section, and it looked so funny. So I just finished reading Expectant Detectives, realizing that I was getting into cozy mysteries. Saw this, picked it up, put it in the cart, circled back, dropped it back off because I was like, I don't need this book. And then I ended up going to my local bookstore and buying it there because it kind of just, the cover stayed with me. And it was good. I really liked it. I think I might read it again. Someday I would recommend it. It was weird. Surprise, there's murder. It's also set in England. So I don't know what all the murder in England has going for it, but I really liked it. Moving right along, we have Jo Segura. Love her. She's a great author. Raiders of the Lost Heart. Can I just pause to say that my local bookstore, their employees rock. Like, they always give me such good recommendations. They have not steered me wrong. And this was one of the times where I was kind of looking for something to read. Last year was the year I had read most before this year, and I needed a nice romance. So I asked someone what they would recommend, and they recommended Raiders of the Lost Heart. And I fell in love with it. And I fell in love with Jo Segura's writing. And I found her right at the start. This was her debut novel, and it was lovely. I always recommend Jo Segura now. She's super cool. She's also from Toledo. And I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm from Toledo. And it was really cool meeting someone who like made it and is famous to me, who is from Toledo. That was pretty cool. But I love her regardless. Even if she wasn't from Toledo, I would still love her book. She's such an amazing author. S tier, for sure, hands down. We'll probably read again before her third book comes out. I'll probably reread the first two. Moving right along, we have Dead Tired. This is the sequel to The Expectant Detectives by Kate Allies. Not sure if I'm saying her last name right. I was not originally going to get this novel because I got the first one in paperback, and I really like to have my series match. And then I realized I could not wait. I couldn't wait for this to become a paperback novel. I had to consume the content. It was a must. And so I folded and bought the hardcover, and it was a great decision. I don't think it was my second favorite book of the year, but I'm pretty sure it was in my top 5. They're so funny. They're so funny. Stop the video, go pick up both of these books, read them, and then come back and finish the video. And you'll thank me for it. I hope you will. They're funny. If you want a good, funny, cozy mystery, those 2 novels. Someone needs to tell me to stop forgetting how amazing Allie Hazelwood is. Because at first I said we only got 2 books from her last year. And I guess to be fair to myself, we only got 2 physical books from her last year. But I read 3, and she came out with 2 Can Play. This is an audio only, so there isn't a physical copy of this book. About 2 video game designers. And it's so cute. They're in rival companies, so it's an enemies to lovers situation. And it was really cute. I wish this were longer. I think this fell into more of like a novella category. I wanted to live in this world longer. She did such a good job, but I'm not going to complain that I got more Allie Hazelwood. Like, I'll take anything she can give me, and if it's 2 full books and 2 novellas, I'm gonna take it. Look, even when I was talking about it, I forgot about her Christmas novella. This woman rocks. Okay. Next, we have another Abby Jimenez. It is Yours Truly. This is the second book in that little series, and I did read the first one before I read the second one. I didn't go 3, 2, 1. I went 3, 1, 2. This was my favorite in the trilogy. She just released a new book, which I haven't gotten my hands on yet, but I don't know if it's in this trilogy or if it's just a new standalone. But I really liked Yours Truly. Yours Truly might be my favorite of the 3 Abby Jimenez's that I've read. We have our Star Wars novel from last year, and this was a collection of short stories by various different authors. I believe it's called Tales of the Jedi. And we're gonna put it in B. It was good. I did the audio, so I got the like dramatic audio and I got to hear the lightsabers, and it was a good time. Yeah, it was a pretty solid, average Star Wars book. Not the best Star Wars book, not the worst Star Wars book. So next we have The Matzo Ball, and this is back to my holiday reading spree, and that's what I should have called it. I shouldn't have said Christmas because I did have some Christmas novellas, but I did 2 non-Christmas holiday books. And the first of which I believe I started with The Matzo Ball. This might have been the second one, but they're both about Hanukkah. And when I tell you guys, I had such a lovely time learning about the Jewish culture more in depth and their traditions and how they celebrate the holiday. I loved it so much. I had such a good time that I immediately went and got another one to listen to and read. And it was a solid holiday romance. I loved them. Would recommend. Doesn't matter what faith, if you have any faith that you practice, these were solid, lovely romances. Would recommend, especially in the holiday season when the vibes are all warm and cozy and it's cold outside, but you're inside and maybe there's snow wherever you are. I loved them so much. They were wonderful books. Moving right along, we have The Sun and the Star. This is in the Percy Jackson universe. I had such high hopes because the main characters for this novel were Nico and Will, and I love them. I ship them so hard. I was so excited to get this book. And when I say it was a letdown, I had trouble finishing this novel. This was not a solo Rick book, so I don't know if that's what was different, but in my opinion, Will and Nico, did I say Nick earlier? Will and Nico just changed so much from the characters that I remembered reading and that I fell in love with, that it felt like completely different people, and I didn't love it. So I think this was a combination of I had such high hopes and I had pictured what their story was, that when their story wasn't what I had already pictured, and when the writing vibes were different, it was really hard for me to finish that book, which was a big bummer. Is this our only Julia Quinn from last year? No way. Okay, no, I see the other one. We have our first Julia Quinn from last year, Dancing at Midnight, and it's B. It was a pretty solid book. We're gonna go ahead and just put the other Julia Quinn. No, not in C. No, in B. It was also a standard Julia Quinn. It was good. Moving on to Mr. and Mrs. Witch. I had another holiday, but this time Halloween reading spree. All of, I think, 2 books. And I picked this up because it was purple and that's my favorite color, and it was giving Halloween. It was good. It was good. It was kind of like that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but with witches and a witch hunter. This could conceivably move up to A. Like, I could see myself rereading that this year at Halloween. It was cute. Moving right along to Body Check. I'm not going to spend too long on this book because, similar to the Game Changer, I don't remember a lot of this book, but it's a hockey romance, so it's going with B. We're going to actually talk about the next 2 together because the screen clip is not giving me the title. I think the title is there, but it's too small for me to read. This is Rick's, I think it's going to be a trilogy, and I think the 3rd book is about to come out or has recently come out. Kind of grown up Percy Jackson book, but not like written grown up. Percy wants to go to college and he needs to get recommendation letters from the gods. And so each book is kind of about a different recommendation letter. And I was super nervous after The Sun and the Star to pick up a new Percy Jackson. Are you guys nervous? It's C. It's a solid, or C, B. It's a solid B, both of them. They were back to what I was expecting for Percy Jackson. I was so relieved that they were good. But they're a B. I don't think I would immediately reread them, but I did like them. Okay, we're almost done, guys. We're almost there. We're almost through 2024. This is Abby Jimenez's. I gotta stop trying to say her last name. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, Abby. You're really cool. You're a great writer. This is the first in the trilogy of hers that I've read. It's Part of Your World. It's gonna stay in B. It was okay. It was a good romance. I was delivered what I was promised. All right, moving right along, we have A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. If you watched my very first video on this channel, it's a super long one, so if you don't want to watch it, I don't blame you. But if you need some good background noise, that's a lot of book recommendations. Maybe you'll give it a go. I talk about the first 2 books in this series because this is the 3rd book in the series, and I love all of them. I read it during Halloween. It gave great Halloween vibes. It was a romance. It was kind of enemies to lovers. I really hope the author, Sarah, writes a 4th book for this Halloween for me to enjoy. All right, down to the last 2 books. We can do this. We have Unfortunately Yours. This is the second book in the duology that comes after Secretly Yours. And we're going to leave it in B. I think I enjoyed Unfortunately Yours more than Secretly Yours, but they're both just like your very standard romance novel. You get what you want to get out of it. It's very cute and very cheesy. Last but not least, we have The Martian. I don't know what else to say besides I loved it. I'm a big ol' space nerd. I really like learning about space, and I definitely dreamed about being an astronaut one day. I don't know if I would go so far as to live on Mars, but if there were a settlement on the moon, maybe? I don't know. I have a lot of fears. So, one of them being sucked into a vacuum of space and dying. But The Martian was so good. If you've seen the movie, they were pretty accurate from the book to the movie from what I can remember. And it was a really good book. It was so well done. This was an audiobook for me last year. I loved it. I loved it so much. I actually just finished reading, I think it's the second book that he wrote, but they're both standalones. The second book is called Artemis. I won't spoil how I feel about that one too much, but let's just say it didn't disappoint after The Martian. It was good. It was good. Okay. And there you have it. Those were all of the books that I read last year and where I would rank them. I didn't really give a description on all of them, more so the ones that I was really passionate about. So if you're looking for something to read this year, you can peruse this tier list and maybe you'll find something in there that also speaks to you. If you want a more detailed review, I have my StoryGraph and my Fable account linked in the video description. I started last year doing more than just star reviews on those, so you can get more of my feelings there. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me. My last video, I feel like, was a little bit rough, but we're all just learning together in this crazy world. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you to those of you that watch this little channel and hear me talking to the void. I hope you guys have absolutely wonderful weeks, and I can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.